Creative Scoop, and I'm back with another tutorial for Sunny Studio Stamps. Today I'm using this brand new stamp set called Tea-riffic, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I created the cute little daisies on the cups. So let's get started. Okay, so I've stamped my little teacup in Memento Black ink, and I've stamped it onto my Copic Express It blending card. As you can see, the stamp, it has no designs on it, so this really gives you a great opportunity to try to create something different. In this case, we're going to be creating that flower, but you can do paper piecing, you can use a white gel pen after you've colored them solid to make polka dots or stripes. So there's really a lot of different things that you can do with this type of stamp that has such an open space where you want them to have the little bit of decoration, since it's a tea set that we're working with. So for this one, I'm going to be coloring it purple, and I'm going to be showing you where to add the shading and also draw that daisy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is outline the daisy. So I'm going to be using my N0 since it's the lightest of the ends, and that way you can, if you don't like the shape of one of the petals, you can easily cover it up with the background color that we're coloring on the cup. So I'm going to start with my N0, and about here I'm just going to make a petal, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but this one is going to kind of go off of the edge, but it's going to come right back just like that. And then we're going to turn the paper, do the same thing again, and then we're also going to add little lines up over here, because even though we can't see those petals, they're still there, so we want to be able to tell where we're supposed to put that little circle for the center of the flower. So now I'm going to take my N3, and I'm just going to give a little flick on the bottom parts of the petals. So on each side on the bottom. So there's just a little bit of color. And then we're going to take the N1, and I'm going to continue tracing the petal, not all the way around, but I'm just going to give a little flick so I can pull out some of that N3. That way it starts to fade. And actually, let's go back with the N1. And I'm going to trace the center of the flower. So now I'm going to take my Y02 and just color in the center. And now we're ready to color the outside of it. So since the petals are so light right around the edge, but once we add that background to the cup, it's really going to make that white flower stand out much more. So I'm going to take my V12, and we're going to add a little bit of shadow to this side of the cup over here. So you want to come out, I'm going to trace the top, and then I'm going to come down the side. And the inside of the cup, the bottom of, and the top of the handle. And then we're also going to add a full shadow right underneath where the cup is sitting on the saucer. And then we're going to go ahead and also fully color in right along the bottom part of the saucer, since the larger part is going to be casting a shadow onto that bottom piece. You're not able to really see it. So then we're going to take the V01, we're going to pull the color out. We want to get a nice blend right along the edge of that V12, and then once we have that blended out, then we can go ahead, continue tracing around the daisy and then fill in the rest of the cup. I have a little bit of area in between some of those petals there, so we'll just add a little bit of purple, and then we're going to go ahead and just fully fill in the saucer and the handle. So since there is not a whole lot of shadows, and I really wanted to keep this a lighter, more spring-like card, I didn't want to get too deep with using like V15 and V17 because it just gets too dark. So we're going to take our N3 and just add a little bit of a shadow. This is also a great way to use your grays, and if you don't have very many Copics, so that way you can still get that really dark to light contrast. So I'm going to take my N3 and I'm going to come down the side where we added that shadow with the V12 and a little bit in that corner, and then right above where the T is going to go, I'm just adding a little bit more of a shadow, and then we'll add a little bit of a shadow down here and here on the handle, and then right underneath the cup again, and then right along the bottom part of the saucer. So since we don't want that to be a dark gray color, we want it to be a darker version of this V12, we're going to go directly over the N3 using the V12, and we're going to repeat our two purple colors. So I'm just going to go directly over that, replacing that color, making it a darker version of this purple. And then we're going to repeat that V01 again. And now we're going to take the E31 and we're just going to color in the T inside the cup. And now it's ready to be die cut out. So super easy. I'm listing below all the different colors that I'm using for the teacups. The flower is the exact same way on every single cup. It's just the two shades that are different for each of the different colors. So for the orange, we're using YR00 and YR12. The yellow, we're going to be using the same as the center of the flower, so we're going to be using the Y02 and also some Y00. This one here is going to be the BG13 and BG11, and then the purple is what we, and then we have the pink one. I used R32 and R30, and all of those cups I used the N3 for that little bit of shadowing. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to color the teapot really fast, and I could show you how I added all of those little green leaves, or the grass, so it goes with the smaller daisies since it's on the teapot. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to color is the sky, because when I do the green grass, when I do the flicks going up, if I were to do that first and then do the blue sky, a lot of times you're taking that risk of pulling that darker green streak across your sky, so we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and use B12, B00, and B000. We're going to start with the B12, and I'm going to add a little bit of color along the top and then along the bottom part of the lid. And we're going to add some here, and then along the top over here. And let's add a little bit down here, just for some shadowing. And then we're going to take the B00 and we're going to pull this color out a little bit. So I'm just going to go right across, dragging that B12 into the B00 so that way it creates that blending. Same thing here. So after you get a nice blend right along that B12, then you can come down a little bit farther. And then we're going to use the B000. I'm going to finish filling in the top part of the lid, and then I'm just going to go right over the, in between the top part of the lid where the little decorative pieces. And then we're going to pull this down and here, and then you can kind of just flick, and wherever you stop, that's where you're going to stop. So we're going to be adding that green grass. So you don't have to go all the way down. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and take, let's take N1. We're going to draw the flowers. Now I know we've already put the blue down, which is fine because when I created this one, I used my white gel pen to color in the petals so that way it stands out more since they are a lot smaller. So we're going to make 4 little flowers. And we'll throw in another one right there. Actually, that one's kind of big. So we'll make this one a little bit smaller. And let's do another one here. And we're just going to do the 3. So then we're going to take the Y02 and color in the center, so just a little dot. And then let's take that N3. Actually, let's take the N3. And I'm just going to give, just like how we did before, just a little flick here, here. So right at the base of each of the petals, just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then let's take the N1, we're just going to drag it out. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do our grass. We're going to be using YG67, YG63, and YG61. I'm going to start with my YG67. And I'm going to color in the bottom part here, fully green. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a little bit of grass over here. So I'm just going to add a couple little flicks, and then I'm going to do the same thing coming around. So you don't want to, we still want to have room for the other 2 colors that we're using, so you don't want to fill it completely in just yet. And we can add, no, I don't want to add any there. Let's go up a little higher on a couple of these. And then we're going to go ahead and take the YG63 and do the same thing. Go a little thinner, go a little higher. You don't have to go the exact same areas where you went high up with the previous color, but you do want to come up a little higher on some of them just to give it a little bit more realistic look, and it gives it that grass-like texture. So we're going to do the same thing with this YG61. And since I went really high on that one there, I'm going to go ahead and do another one that's kind of high over here, just for balance. Maybe a couple more. Then I guess we will add some green over here. And then we're going to go back with the YG67 and we're going to draw the stems of the flowers. And if you want, you can add a little leaf. And then we'll fill in the leaf here. And now we are ready for the white gel pen so we can fill in those flower petals. And then here. And there you have it, cute little teapot. Oh, I did take my Y02 and filled in the top, the little knob. But here we have it, super cute little teapot and our little teacup. Such a great and fun way to use this stamp set. So I really hope you enjoyed my video tutorial today. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.